No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Something is about to break.
Hey friends, happy Wednesday. You're listening to the About to Break podcast, and this is the show. This is the one where we talk about going from breakdown to breakthrough, where we talk to artists and entertainers about the ups and downs of just trying to do what you love and pay the bills in the process. And I, as an artist and an entertainer, I want to thank everybody who's been supporting us on Patreon. We've been putting some work over on the Patreon page. If you haven't checked it out lately, go check it out. We got some new content coming out just for patrons only. Every single Monday, I'm putting out a little video that is a chance for me to share some things that have been encouraging to me, some personal stuff, and also some tips that I think will help you as an artist, as an entertainer, as an entrepreneur, and a business owner. Good stuff. I'm very, very excited to share it. And as a thank you to the patrons, we're putting that over there. So for as little as $1 or more a month, you can be a producer of the show. Just go to patreon.com/about-to-break. Not only do you help make the show possible with your partnership, but there's some great rewards to choose from on there. We want to thank you. So you get everything from exclusive content to early release of episodes to, let's see, what else do you get? My magic DVD that teaches you how to do tricks. You can get an instant download of that. Lots of stuff over there at Patreon. Go check it out. And once again, thank you to all the producers for making the show possible. If you tuned in last week, you heard that we've set up a break line. This is an opportunity for you to call, leave us a voicemail, let us know your thoughts, your feelings, where you at. Are you feeling like you're about to have a breakthrough, or you feel like you're about to have a breakdown? Either way, we want to know. Give us a call at 323-524-7456, 323-524-7456. And of course, you can always email us at abouttobreakpodcast@gmail.com. And if you'd like to share your story on the show, please let us know there on the message, and we will include you on a future episode. So excited about this episode we're at episode 97. And my guest this week is Jason Collings, hilarious comedian. I got the pleasure of working with Jason at an event a couple months back, and since that time, man, this guy's been blowing up. This conversation was so encouraging to me, and I'll share a little bit more about why after the episode in my breaking point. But sit back, relax, and enjoy episode 97 of the podcast with my buddy Jason Collings. Hey everybody, welcome to About to Break. I'm your host Taylor Hughes, and right now I am sitting in glorious Lakewood, California, with Jason Collings. Thanks for being here, man.
I live here.
Yeah, so. Thanks for letting me be here.
Yeah, I was going to say, thank you for being here.
Now, this is a first because we're in your home. It's a lovely home.
Thank you.
And I walk in and you're like, do you mind if I light a fire? And you've got this glorious fireplace.
My little, what do they call it? It was a Ben Franklin. That's a Ben Franklin fireplace.
It's like a legit cast iron.
Oh, I love it.
I feel like we are in the woods.
Yeah. This was one of the selling points of the house when my wife and I looked at the place.
Were you, yeah. Did you see it lit?
No, I didn't see. Okay. When we looked at this house,
yeah,
I walked in and went, no.
Really?
And my wife, she's got a great vision when it comes to home. She works for Pier 1 Imports.
Oh, cool.
She's an amazing interior decorator. She sees the vision that I can't see.
Yeah.
I mean, this place doesn't look anything like it looked when we bought the house. I mean, there was this room right here. It was you see these, we got these wood floors.
Right, it's gorgeous.
This was green shag carpeting, and the walls were wood paneling.
So she's the visionary.
Yeah.
My wife's the same way. When we bought our first house, I was like, I don't like it. I just didn't like it at all. And within 3 months, she transformed it into a different place.
That's the same thing that happened here, and now I love it.
That's all.
This room alone is my favorite room to be in ever.
Man, I can't imagine having a fire, because this fireplace, it's like an art piece. Mm-hmm. When it's lit, it's like the fire isn't
it cool
on display.
I love it. Yeah, I love it, and it's so relaxing. I put music on the TV, and just chill out.
That's your
my therapy,
de-stress therapy.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been here?
We've been at this house almost. We're coming up on 10 years now.
Cool.
Yeah, we bought it 10 years ago. Interesting story why we bought the house.
Yeah.
We were renting a house in the area. We like Lakewood, and I grew up in the neighboring city of Long Beach.
Yeah.
And we found we were renting a couple houses. And the last house that we were renting, the owner was taking our rent money every month, but he wasn't paying his mortgage.
No.
Yeah. So we're at home, like everything's okay. And
Yeah.
we get a knock on the door. Said, this house is being repoed by the bank. You guys got to go.
What?
And we're like, what?
Yeah.
We've been religiously paying the rent. I mean, we were never late. And turns out the guy was using our rent money to like fix his car up and all this other stuff and didn't tell us anything. So because of how some of the laws work, we were able to stay there.
Because luckily you were in California.
Yeah. We were able to.
Nevada and that happened.
We'd be out
of luck.
Yeah. We were able to stay in the house for 6 months with rent free.
Oh wow, you can pull that out. We had these mic stands. We were trying to be professional,
but I'm a real handsy guy.
Well,
we're used to holding the mic.
Like normally you record with someone and if they're not used to it, then it's awkward. This is so much. This is what we're used to,
right?
Yeah.
So we stayed in that house rent free for 6 months, but we put the money away as if we were paying the rent.
Okay.
So we were able to, and then we found this house. My wife and I, especially her, she's like, I don't want to get screwed on that kind of. I don't want to get screwed like that ever again.
Right.
Let's just buy a house. And we found we're literally blocks from the other place we lived in. She found this really last minute.
This is a great spot. And you're right by the mall.
Yeah, I'm walking distance from. There's like Restaurant Row right here. I have everything I need.
Yeah. I came around the corner and I was like, look at all these options.
Yeah,
I had so much to eat.
Yeah, exactly. But it's quiet. It's not. I'm at the age where I don't need to be in the urban setting, and like I'm happy with just all of my neighbors are so nice. And no problems.
See, when I pulled in, I was like, okay, I'm way out in Upland. But we got similar vibes because we've got a legit neighborhood, but we're close enough you can drive to everywhere to go do shows and all that.
Yep.
So
I'm between everything everywhere I need to be when I'm in Southern California. I'm right between it. I got the Orange County clubs one way, a good maybe 20 minutes, Brea Improv in Irvine, and then the other way I got my home clubs, because my home club is a Comedy Store in Hollywood, and of course the Comedy Magic Club where you and I both perform.
Yeah,
and it's just so close, and I don't mind the drive. A lot of people that live in Hollywood are like, dude, oh my God, it takes you how long to get here? I'm like, it's fine.
It's not a big deal. Well, and you learn when to leave. Like I have friends who live in Burbank. It takes them the same amount of time to get places that I do. I just know how to do it.
Yep. If I leave here at 7:30, I'm here. I fly to wherever I'm going. No traffic. It's good to go.
That's fantastic, man. One of my first real money gigs was at the Lakewood Mall.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I was doing. Do you remember this bank? There's a bank called ING.
Yes.
So when that bank showed up, they hired magicians to do magic in like a kiosk at the mall.
Wow.
And then you draw a crowd, kind of like a trade show thing. You draw a crowd, and then they'd come and talk about the bank and try to get people to sign up for savings accounts.
How does that work with the magic? You have to do all up close stuff, right?
It was all close up. So you get 15 or 20 people around the booth, and but I remember it was right after 9/11, and I got to the mall early, and I had this metal briefcase with all my magic crap in it. And I stuck it under the booth.
Oh no!
And then I went to go use the restroom. When I came back, it was gone, and I was like, "Oh man, someone stole it!" And then when I found it, the mall security assumed it was a bomb. They saw on the camera some guy just shoved this.
It's all their intensive training to become a mall security guard.
It's their Paul Blartness.
Yeah, right.
And they were they had it in a van in the parking lot, ready for the bomb squad to come. How embarrassing! No. They open it up. It's just some oranges and a fake thumb, and
that's great. That's so funny. They're like, this is a crazy terrorist,
right, dude? We don't know what this guy is. He's doing some Gilligan crap with
weird
coconuts radios or whatever.
That's so funny.
Oh my gosh, man. Well, we met doing a show for the LA County Sheriff,
who's no longer the sheriff.
Yeah, no longer.
We worked with Jim McDonald.
Yeah,
who is now out.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the new guy is.
I have no idea.
Is it even a guy?
I don't know. Is our little award they gave us still good?
I know, right? Do we have to get that? Do we have to give that back?
That was the funniest thing. We did a show, and afterward, they gave us these massive
The certificate was huge.
It was 11 by 17.
Yeah, got to be so expensive to get that thing framed.
Yes,
so expensive. I like the trophy thing though. I think it's cool.
The trophy thing is cool. I did think it was awesome that they clearly made that before we did the show. Mm-hmm. So what if we totally just bombed?
Oh, and they still had to do the photo op. No one's happy and no one's smiling.
Well, what's one of your worst ever stories where like everything went wrong with the show? Do you?
Oh man.
Do you have a favorite?
Yeah. The show was good, but the situation was I had a guy throw a full glass of beer right at my head at a small club in Scottsdale, Arizona.
In Scottsdale,
Arizona.
I wouldn't have guessed Scottsdale.
Right, little club called the Comedy Spot. I don't really do it anymore, but I was there, and the way they set it up is you had your early show, and then the people that were coming in for the late show would all hold them in the bar area.
Yeah.
And then when that first show got out, those people would go in, and then the people from the first show would come out into the bar area.
Okay.
It was just like that. So I finished the first show, and I go out into the bar area, and this couple comes up to me, and they're like, "Man, that was so great. We love you so much." Joe Coy, another comic. Joe Coy told us to come see you.
Wow.
Which was really cool.
That's great.
Joe's a really good buddy of mine. And we liked it so much that we're going to stay, and we bought tickets for the second show.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. My first thought was they've been drinking the entire first show.
They're primed.
Then they were drinking during the second show started.
Yes.
During the intermission or whatever you want to call it. And then they went into the second show and drank, and I'm headlining, so I'm last.
Oh,
so by the time I go on for the second show, they're 3 hours into drinking.
Yeah.
And they are different people. The guys laugh.
This is the same people that were shaking your hand and so excited to see you.
And this guy's laugh is really obnoxious now. I mean, I didn't even notice him the first show. Right. And now all of a sudden he's like, he's yelling out stuff. And I'm like, yo, man, you got to stop. You got to chill.
Are they, and they're up close too.
Yeah,
they're like got right up front
row.
Yeah.
And I'm a little frustrated because I'm doing security's job. During my set, I'm going, hey guys, stop. And I'm thinking security should be coming over there. And they're just standing back there not doing anything. So finally, it got so bad that I looked at security. I go, they have to go. Yeah. They got to go. They're ruining the show. The other audience members were getting upset.
Yeah.
Luckily,
had you worked this club before? Or was okay.
Yeah. And so the security guy listens to me and walks up and says, all right, you guys got to go. And the guy's like, are you serious? You know what? You're not even effing funny anyways. You suck.
What?
These are the people that loved me and bought tickets to the second show.
I wonder if they noticed that you were the same guy.
Right? As he's walking away, he does this little fake move and quickly reaches back and grabs his full glass of beer and throws it right at my head.
Gee.
And luckily,
and everything.
Everything. I ducked to the side and it literally hits the wall next to my head.
Yeah.
Like it was that close.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the heck? That could have gone so much smoother if the security guys did their job.
Yeah, that's the
Or
word.
don't sell them tickets to the second show.
Right. But they're probably like, we're making a killing on drinks on these guys.
That's what they were thinking.
I always think like if the security addresses it, then it's just the one, you maybe have like 10 people who are distracted by this guy being an idiot. But then if you have to talk about it, now everybody's focused
Everyone's
on this
involved.
situation.
It's awkward. Luckily, I handled it and made jokes about it. And but man, that stands out. But there's, you do the road like we do. There's so many stories that you just think of like, and also why are they always trying to take us out of our element? Like what we do works best in a theater setting.
Right. Yeah. A little darker.
But they're always like, hey, I'm doing this show at, and it's just some place that you shouldn't be doing a show at, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're doing it at the DMV. Right. Got it. Yeah. Or we're doing it in the kitchen of some, the
experimental shows.
Yeah, I've just done a few lately that are at breweries.
Okay.
In the brewery.
How have those gone?
Actually, these have been fun. This young lady that's booking them, she's pretty great, and they're fun rooms. But it's a different. You're not on a stage. Right. There's no spotlight. There's no you just got the mic and the speaker. But that's with stand up. That's where you become so good because you got nothing but you to freaking command this room. Yeah. And that's one of the, in my opinion, why I've gotten as good as I've gotten because I was doing those kind of gigs for so long. And a lot of people, when they get to the next level with TV and all that stuff, they don't want to do those gigs anymore. Right. I like doing them still. Yeah. I just got off the road I was in Canada for 3 weeks doing all stadiums. And I got back, I went right to those small bar shows because I want to keep my chops up. I don't want to lose touch. I don't want to, you get what's the word I'm looking for? Irrelevant.
Right.
I don't want to lose my relevance, and the only way to stay that way, in my opinion, is to be with the people.
Yeah.
Those stadium shows are amazing, but you're above them.
It's a totally different environment.
Yeah. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to earn it. They first of all paid a lot of money
to come see comedy,
and they're giving you standing ovations when you're walking out onto stage.
Wow.
It's incredible. So I still want to keep that. I want to be able to earn it still. And I want to know that I can go into a room full of people that are some of them are pissed off that there's even a show happening.
Right.
Because they just came to watch the game.
Right.
And I could still get that entire room by my 20 minutes in, they're all listening and into it.
Yeah.
I tell a lot of young comics, if you could do a bar show and you can get that bar silent.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you got them.
That's so good, man. Yeah. I was watching, I see on Instagram your post of these like, dude, you got the best promo photos forever.
Oh man,
that tour, like
the guy that took those, this guy Ed, he is an amazing photographer. He's got drones and he's taken. It's amazing. He works for the tour. He's the tour manager basically, and Russell Peters is just assistant on everything. And man, he takes some great photographs. Ed Dro is his name on Instagram. If you want to follow him, he's great.
Yeah, go check him out, guys. I was looking at those photos, and that was the first thing I was like, I gotta ask Jason when he comes back. I want to know what it's like the first time you go back into a club and there's like 150, 200 people in there after being in a stadium.
It is. It's like coming home. It's like, I'm back. Because I've done few big venue tours.
Yeah.
And the first one I ever did was years ago. I opened for Carlos Mencia.
Yeah.
He saw me at a club, liked what he saw, picked me up on the tour, and we were doing big venues. And that was my first time ever doing that.
Yeah.
And I got off that tour, and from the airport, I took a car to the Ha Ha Cafe.
Really?
And did an hour in front of 6 people because I just need that.
Yeah.
Comedy is best intimate. In my opinion, stand-up is best intimate.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I think those big giant shows with the big names are freaking great.
Right.
And, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. The timing's way different because the laughter and the applause rolls at you. It rolls away and comes back, and you have to sit in the bit for a little longer I really prefer, the clubs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the money's great on the other ones,
right.
But to keep my chops, to keep that muscle strong, I'm always going to be loyal to the small clubs.
I was talking to a friend today who's doing a killer gig. It's just like one of these gigs that everybody sees on social media. He's doing it and goes, man, he's just killing it.
Right.
And that like, it's always the gigs that look amazing that aren't as great as the ones that look really crappy. Like,
right. The ones that look really crappy, I look at those pictures now and I go, that dude's learning some shit. Yeah. He's learning about him. He's learning some stuff on his set. He's figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
He's finding new stuff. Yeah. Because in those gigs that I was doing, it's all your A stuff.
Right.
You got to bring it. You got to bring all the A stuff, But
there's something about being in a place where you can play. Because that's really what we got into this for, is it's fun. And the minute it starts becoming too much like work.
I just make fun of people for a living and myself. How fun is that? The stuff that we got in trouble for in school.
Yeah, right.
We're making a living doing it,
Yeah, people are like, "Did you go to school for this?" I'm like, "I got in trouble in school for this."
Exactly.
Have you always done stand up has that always been your career or what?
No. I've only been doing stand up for 12 years, going on 13 years.
Good grief, man.
Yeah, I started at 35 years old. I didn't start doing this until I was 35 years old. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm 47 now. And I wanted to always.
Yeah.
But as you've discovered today, I had kids very young. You met my son, James. He's 29 years old. I was just a kid when he showed up. And then my youngest is going to be 24. I was only 22 or 3 when I had him. So I had kids young.
Right.
And I knew from my father that when you are doing this for a living, you're gone a lot. Yeah. My dad was in the music industry. He had a hit single in the 70s and he was a touring musician. And my dad was there the day I was born and then left the next day for 3 months on tour. And I remember him, and I don't remember that because I was too young. Because when I was about 8 years old, he retired from that and was like full-time dad. And he was the best dad ever before he passed. And then, but I remember him telling me things like, yeah, I wasn't there for your first steps. I don't remember. I was gone a lot, you know. And so when I found out I was going to be a dad, I made the decision to just be a family man and be there for all that first 5, 6, 7, 8 year stuff. I didn't want to miss a thing. I wanted to coach the Little League. I wanted to see the first steps. I wanted to be there for all of it.
That's great, man.
So I put the dream aside.
Yeah.
Luckily,
and had you done you had done it some there or tried out here or there? You just knew. Oh man, this is something I could do.
Yeah. When I tell you this story, other comedians get so angry.
Do it, man.
I always preface it with, "This is not how it works. This is just my story." When I was a kid, about 12 years old, I started training martial arts.
Yeah.
And by the time I was 16, I'd gotten my first black belt. By the time I was 18, I got a second degree, 21, a third degree, and then ended up, my brother, my father, and I, along with my mom, we ended up opening our own martial arts school.
Oh, wow. Was this here in Southern California?
Yeah, we had 3 here in Long Beach and 3 in Orange County. We ended up running a chain of schools.
Wow.
And that's how I put food on the table. And the hours were incredible. I didn't have to be to the school till 2 p.m. I was able to just be there full time as a dad.
That's fantastic.
Always had the dream of being some performer in some sort. I had a record deal when I was a teenager.
Okay.
I produced hip hop music. Yeah. And I went into that world for a little bit. And then when the kids came along, I was like, can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Got to be there for them.
Wow.
So meanwhile, I had a buddy a guy I met, a buddy that I went to high school with had this friend who was a comedian.
Okay.
And he was always like, you got to meet him. Cause my friends all knew that that I loved comedy. Right. I mean, I watched comedy specials like it was the Super Bowl. Like in my household, when me and my brother, my dad and my mom, when the new Carlin HBO thing was coming, that was a huge event. Everybody knew. My buddy's like, I'm working with this guy. He's stand-up comic. You got to meet him. That guy was Joe Coy.
Wow.
So I met Joe Coy, and him and I ended up immediately getting along, and we just became buddies. I mean, I've been doing stand-up for 13 years. I think I've been friends with Joe for almost 20.
Wow.
And I was always telling him, I want to do this. I want to do this. And he's like, yeah, you should do it. You should do it. Yeah, I think I could do it. Yeah, you should do it. And when I was 30, when I was like 32, 31, 32 or something, 32, my father got diagnosed with cancer. And, he fought it for a while. They gave him like 6 months to live. He lived like 4 more years. I mean, he went into this blind study that ended up working, and he went into remission for a year.
He was just like, we're going to do it.
Oh, he was a fighter. Yeah. And then it came back. And when it came back, he was just tired. He said, I'm done. And we're like, ugh. And I knew he was going, and my father and I were super close.
Yeah.
And subconsciously, I wasn't even like, this is why I'm going to do stand-up. I needed something to keep my mind busy because the martial arts business was the thing that I did with him. So when I'm there all day, it reminds me of him. And it was rough. So I was always talking to my buddy Joe about wanting to do comedy. And I hung out with him for a long time. I went for like a year straight. I went to a show with him almost every night. I was like his shadow, watching stand-up, studying it. But I didn't know anything about the open mic scene. I didn't even know if that was a thing or not. I just thought, because of what I saw from Joe, you're funny. You can go to the Laugh Factory and perform. Yeah. You can go to the comedies. I thought that's how it worked.
You thought that was the...
And I would go to his shows, and it was Joe Coy, Daniel Tosh, Dan Cook. And that was my intro to comedy.
You're around that environment.
Right. So I'm like, that's what I'm going to do. I didn't understand that there was an open mic scene that you had to start with.
So what was that first gig like? How did that work?
Here we go. Let me start by saying I've never done an open mic.
That's amazing.
Never done one. So one night, Joe calls me. He says, hey, I'm doing a show at Irvine Improv.
Yeah.
And he was an LA guy, and he knew I lived where we're at, which was between. He said, I'll come pick you up if you want to go to the show. I was like, heck yeah, but can you pick me up at my dad's? I'm hanging with my dad.
Yeah.
So yeah, and plus my dad really wanted to meet him as an entertainer. He liked meeting other entertainers.
Right.
So Joe comes to the house, they meet. They're having a conversation. I walk out of the room to get ready. And so him and my dad are alone in the room talking.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, all right, I'm ready. He's like, okay. And we get in the car, and we sit in the car, and he doesn't start the car. He looks at me and goes, do you really want to do stand-up comedy? And he's never asked me that serious.
Yeah.
We was always just like, yeah, I want to do it. Yeah, you should. Guys. And as a comedian, even a magician, sometimes when you have that one friend that always tells you, I'm going to try it. And you're always like, all right, dude, whatever.
Yeah.
I was that guy to Joe Coy and Russell Peters, because I met Russell through Joe years ago before I did stand-up as well. So in the car, he says, no, do you really want to do it? And I was like, yeah. He goes, well, then stop dicking around and do it.
Yeah.
And then he says, or your father may never be able to see you do it. Because it was really close to the end. The next day, I went to a comedy club, the Ha Ha Cafe in North Hollywood.
Yeah.
I had no idea how it worked.
You're like, I'm here, everyone.
Pretty much. Listen to this. I go to the door and I ask for the owner. Didn't know that there was a booker.
Right.
I asked for the owner of the club. Because Joe Coy told me, he's like, you should go to the Ha Ha Cafe and try to start there. What he meant was do their open mic and do it the right way.
Yeah, and you're just like, okay, so the very next day, I go and I ask for the owner of the club. I says, hey, my name is Jason Collings. I'm a comedian. I'd never done it before in my life. Remember, I'm 35 years old. Right.
I'm questioning how long I'm going to live now because I'm watching my dad go.
Yeah, you're in touch with your own mortality.
I have no time to F around.
Yeah. Gotta do it.
I said, my name is Jason Collings. I'm a stand-up comedian. Joe Coy, John Lovitz, and Fraser Smith told me to come here and that you would put me on a show.
Wow.
And he says, Joe Coy told you that? I go, yeah. Very convincing. I said, yeah, they did. He goes, how long have you been doing stand-up? I said, 5 years.
And you hadn't even
That's
picked
just
up on
the number that I threw out.
Yeah.
Never did it before in my life.
Yeah.
Just 5 years.
See, this goes into the thing I tell people all the time. Nobody wants to hire you to do something you're not already doing.
Right.
So if you want to do warm-up for TV, you can't say, I don't do it. Yeah, I do it.
Yeah.
I haven't done it, but I do it.
I am a comedian.
Yeah. Yeah.
He pauses and he goes, come on by tomorrow. I'll put you on the show tomorrow. Is it okay?
And you didn't even know at this point that was insane.
I didn't know that how big that was.
Right.
And what a leap past so many steps that was. I had no idea. Like I wasn't cocky in the sense was like, I don't need to do that. I'm going to do that. I just didn't know.
Right.
So I go the next day, no material. Mind you, every day for the last 15 years or so, I've been teaching large groups of people, and I always taught with humor.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to command a room full of people several times a day.
Right.
Each class was an hour long.
Right.
So I knew how to keep the attention.
That's a lot of energy in those rooms.
I knew how to keep the attention of a room full of people, and I knew how to do it with 5-year-olds for an hour. That's hard. You know? So I already had that muscle ready.
Yeah.
It was just now make it a comedy act.
Right.
So I show up to the show, and these are other things that I had no idea were great things. The guy goes, oh, you're Jason. I go, yeah. He goes, yeah, they told me you were coming. Okay, you're going on third. I didn't know that was the sweet spot.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going on third. He goes, you're doing 15 minutes? I'll light you at 12. And I said, okay. And in my head, that didn't sound hard.
That didn't sound hard?
That didn't sound hard at all.
You're like, I do hour-long classes 5 times a day.
The only thing that I didn't know what the hell he was talking about is when I didn't know what that meant. But I didn't want him to know I didn't know what that meant. So I said, yeah, got like 12 minutes. I don't know what the hell that meant. So I go on stage and I start my act and I just start talking, telling stories, talking about my wife, talking about my kids. And it's funny and it's working.
Yeah.
I'm doing crowd work. I'm doing callbacks. I'm sitting in the chair like I'm been doing this forever. Then all of a sudden, the guy that's running the show starts waving his phone at me.
Yeah.
My first thought was like, do I have a phone call? Why is this guy? But then I realized, oh, that's the light.
Yeah.
That's what he meant. I'm done. I did it.
Oh.
So I was like, guys, thank you so much. My name is Jason Collings. Thanks for listening. Huge applause. I get off stage and a comedian comes up to me. He probably doesn't even remember this. His name is John Roy.
Yeah.
You know John Roy?
Uh-uh.
His picture's up at the Comedy Magic Club.
Okay.
Hey, man, how long you been doing stand-up? I go, well, what time is it? He tells me the time. I said, about 15 minutes now. And his face, he got so mad.
Yeah.
He looks at me and goes, that's not a true story. I go, yeah, that was my first time. And that first time, coincidentally that night, my very first time doing comedy, I hear this guy in the back of the room laughing like a crazy person.
Yeah.
Everything I said is maniacal laugh. My first thought is this guy screwing with me?
Right.
Then through the set, I realized, no, that's just how this guy laughs. And he's really enjoying
He's into
the set.
it.
That guy was Chris D'Elia.
Dude.
He comes up and he goes, oh my God, you're so funny, dude. What's your name? I go, Jason Collings. He's like, I'm Chris. I go, are you a comedian? He goes, I'm next. I go, I'm going to watch your set. And then I'm laughing hysterically in the back of the room. And then we became buddies that night, my very first time. And yeah, we're still buddies to this day. We've toured together a few times. And that's how I got into comedy.
That is the most unreal story of how anyone got into this business ever.
Never. I tell people, this is my story. This isn't how it works.
No.
Because then I make them even more angry when I say, and then 6 years after that, I did the Tonight Show. Yeah.
But that's why we can't, people look at like, they'll ask, oh, how did you get into this? And then they use it like a formula. Okay, so I'm going to go to this open mic every week.
Yeah, I tell everybody.
I didn't do magic and comedy stuff till I was 33 was when I went full time.
Yeah, we talked about that because I was just,
So, but when I went into doing it full time, I mean, I just would do shows. I'd say, I am available. I do this. And then I'd do a show. And then a buddy of mine was like, we got to go to an open mic. And I remember going to Mel's in Hollywood. They do an open mic in the back of Mel's Diner.
Which, the Sunset or the Highland one?
On Sunset.
Oh, wow.
And I went in there and it was like 5 other comics. Nobody was paying attention to anyone else. Everyone just writing feverishly in notebooks. Yeah. And I remember, we went up and did a set and it was fun, but then I just went, how can you get better in an environment like this?
Right. That's how I feel
You
about
need an audience. You need people who are going to laugh or not laugh or,
But what I tell people is, because it's the important part, the value of the open mic, in my opinion, is standing on a stage with a microphone in your hand, talking into it, because that's a muscle that a lot of people don't. Yeah, they need to work that out. That's a huge step in doing this, is that comfort of just standing in front of people and talking into this thing. Yeah, that's I go, you have to do it. You have to do it, because you're not going to do what I did or you did. You know what I mean? It's just,
you had an open mic. It was the karate studio.
Right.
I mean, my open mic was working with the youth group at my church.
There you go.
So you had the junior hires and trying to get them to pay attention.
Yep, I tell people, I talk to groups of people for years. Yeah. And if you lose a room full of 5-year-olds for a second,
game over.
Game over. They will they will trample on top of you. Yeah, that's how I got into comedy.
That's incredible, man.
And I've been doing it ever since. And then about 47, about 41, 41 years old, I was able to sell my business and do it full time.
That's incredible.
And now this is what I do. Yeah.
That's amazing, dude. And I love that you had that time when your kids were little where it was just that. Yeah. It was just family,
That's what and I still think I still think I went into it too soon.
Do you?
Yeah. Me and my sons, they're men now. They're grown-ups. And we've had conversations where they were like, you were gone, man.
Wow.
Because my son was 11. Yeah. And my other boy was 15.
I think our timing's right about the same, because I'm 37 now. Mm-hmm. But I've got a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old. Yeah. So we had kids really young too. Yeah.
So when you're my age, you're going to be 20 and 23.
It's crazy, man. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. And it's a good thing that you were there, and they need that. Yeah. Because, and I wanted to be there. Mm. Like I didn't want to go. I'm sorry, I got to go and escape into work, escape them. Yeah. Like I loved every second of it, and I still do, and my one's not here anymore, and the other one's going to move out again soon. But, I love every second of it.
That's so cool, man.
But now I get to do this all the time. Yeah. I mean, I'm a goofball for a living.
What was that transition like for your wife?
When all of a sudden, my wife, everyone thought I was insane. Like, what are you doing? You own a business. Yeah. What are you doing?
A successful business.
And it was rough. There were times I've almost lost this house a few times.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you can't give up. No. That's the difference between the people that make it and don't make it.
Yeah. Consistent. You just got to do it the next day.
A buddy of mine, comedian Eric Griffin. I don't know if you're Eric Griffin. Yeah. He was, I watched him on the Storyteller show one night. It wasn't exactly stand-up. It was a storytelling. And he told a story. And the thing that he said at the end stuck with me. He said, so my point is, people don't fail at this business. They just quit.
Wow.
Yeah, and I thought that's so true because there were times when I thought I was failing.
Yeah.
Because this place, I almost lost my house a few times. I almost lost my family a few times.
Yeah.
But I never, I just said, I can't do anything else. I don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
This is who I am.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it really, I remember when that hit me, when I'm like, I'm not choosing to do this because this sucks.
Right.
But this is who I am. And I stuck with it. And now we're great. You know,
when we
Elaine, my wife Elaine, she's happy. We're doing things that we never thought we'd be able to do, and
so cool,
we're traveling, and so my advice is really you stick with it. Don't let it beat you because it will try to beat the shit out of you.
Right.
It will.
It will. Yeah.
And guess what? It wins most of the time with a lot of people. With most people, you know.
Well, and people. I mean, this show we call it About to Break, but what's funny is there's this old mindset of like, well, you get your big break and then it's just smooth sailing.
Nope.
And this business is big break, massive struggle. Big break, massive struggle.
Yep. When I got the Tonight Show, I thought, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be rich.
Right.
I'm going to sell tickets everywhere. The Tonight Show isn't the Tonight Show of the 80s and the 90s even.
Oh, yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
And a lot of people watched it.
Mm-hmm.
But then, trends change.
Right.
Pendulum swings. And right around that time, that was an amazing year for me.
Yeah.
2013.
Okay.
2013, I got passed as a paid regular at the Comedy Store, my name on the wall at the Comedy Store.
Crazy.
I got invited and paid to go to Just for Laughs, Montreal.
Jeez.
I did Comic View on BET, and I did The Tonight Show, all in that 1 year.
Wow.
So I'm like, I made it.
Yeah.
And at the moment, it felt that way.
Yeah.
But then Hollywood
and
trends
this
changed.
is like six or 7 years into doing comedy.
Yep. And then right around that time and just a little afterwards, all of a sudden, Hollywood got into some trouble with the whole diversity thing.
Right.
And they needed to fix a lot. And I agree with a lot of it.
Yeah.
So there was a long time when they're like, you're a white dude.
Right.
You're a straight white guy. We don't care.
Yeah.
We need to make this thing real. We actually diversify this business. And I get it.
Yeah.
And then it affected me. So when I did the Tonight Show, I thought bookings, nothing, literally nothing.
Wow.
For a long time.
Yeah.
And I realized this is a marathon. This is something you just got to keep working. You got to keep working. And then when you get the thing that you think is the thing, don't for a second chill.
Yeah, no.
Don't chill out because this ain't it.
Yeah. Well, there's seasons when, I don't know how it is for you, but for me, there will be months where I'm gone every night doing shows. And then there will be months where I'm home for 3 weeks at a time with no work.
How horrible does that feel?
Yeah. And the temptation is like you're saying, when you're booked solid, when you're like, dude, I got 4 months that are killer. I'm going to make so much money.
Right.
The temptation is, you're making money, you're doing shows to just relax.
Chill out.
And then those months end and you go, oh, I didn't work to line things up beyond this.
I should have opened up my laptop when I had all that stuff booked and tried to get bookings for after that. It's a constant, it's a hustle, man. And that's guys like Joe Coy and Russell Peters, these guys that are really helping me out. And I learned so much from these guys.
Yeah.
Like this tour that I just did with Russell.
Yeah. Talk about that, man. How did that even...
I can literally say it changed my life.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, I don't mean monetary, like money wise, but being with someone every day, all day, who is that hard of a worker and you see how it's paid off for him. Yeah. And then I see him not stop working. Yeah. It is, if you're around someone like that,
it's contagious.
It's contagious and it does rub off. And thank God, because this dude, he's one of the, and no one gave him anything. Yeah. No one gave him, he earned there were people that wouldn't book him. So he straight up said, I'm going to book my own tour. And he invested in himself. Wow. And he built this empire that is him. I mean,
walk me through, man, because you shared with me a bit about just how that came about, you going on the road with him. But
I've known Russell for quite some time. And as comedians, like I said earlier, we have people around us that go, hey, I'm going to do it, man. And they kind of bother me. Like they're annoying a little bit because you're like, you don't understand. It's not just a matter of showing up and doing it. So you're kind of like, all right, do whatever. And I feel like I was maybe that guy to Russell and Joe. And I know I was to Joe.
At the beginning.
Yeah. So when I did finally start doing comedy, I kind of lost touch with those guys a little bit. And I think it was because they knew I had to make it on my own. They knew I had to go find it. And I'm glad, because I didn't want anything handed to me. Yeah. I didn't want to get a show because I was friends with Joe. I didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So everything I got, I earned it hard. But but there's still that level of where they see me. And this is just my opinion. I'm not sure if this is really how it is. And it was maybe 5 or 6 years ago, one time I was at this venue with Russell, and we were all at this place in West Hollywood called The Parlor. This guy used to run a show every Monday night there. Okay. And it was like the show to get on. And luckily I'd gotten on that show and did well every time. So I was one of the regulars that were coming into that show. Yeah. Well, Russell shows up one night and I'm like, what's up, dude? And because we've known each other forever. And I asked him, I said, yeah, I'd really like to, because I heard a couple of my buddies that opened for him. Yeah. And I'm like, that sounds I'd like to do the road with you. He kind of was like, whatever. Yeah. And it felt weird. Like, ooh. Yeah. Like, did I just cross the line asking him for that? So I never asked for anything ever again. Yeah. And anything I ever got, I earned it. Yep. Cut to, let's see, October. Yeah. Of this year. Yeah. Of last year now. Yeah. October 2018.
Just a couple months ago.
Yeah. I get booked on a show. A buddy of mine, John Campanelli, great dude. He has a show that he does at the Hollywood Improv. Yeah. And he booked me on it, and he booked Russell Peters on it. And I think that night Jamie Kennedy was on it, Donnell Rollins. It was a great lineup. Yeah. And I was on stage, and Russell walked in. Yeah. And sees his friend, and he's watching me. And apparently he said to somebody, it's kind of pissing me off how good he's gotten. Wow. Like as a joke, you know? Yeah. Man. And he ended up just really saying really nice things. Yeah. Then I get off stage, like, great set, man. Good job. And then a couple days later, the guy who runs the show posted a picture of him and Russell together. Yeah. And said, man, this turned out to be a great show. And I sarcastically commented, you're welcome. Because I had a great set that night. Sarcastically and jokingly, I said, you're welcome. Because I wasn't in the picture or even mentioned. Right. Russell comments underneath me, you are on a freight train to greatness. Wow. And I was like,
so you're sitting there and you get a notification on your phone and you're like, what?
Well, yeah. And I'm like, that means a lot coming from anybody. It means a ton coming from him.
Well, and to say it publicly.
Yeah, publicly. It wasn't a DM. I mean? Publicly. Yeah. So I just said, oh, dude, thanks, man. It means a lot coming from you. That's awesome. Wow. That same day, the guy who runs the show calls me and says, yo, Russell just hit me up asking for your phone number. I don't know what that means, but I'm just letting you know. Yeah. And I thought he already had my phone number, but yeah. So then I'm at Starbucks and I get a phone call from a number that I don't recognize. Uh-huh. And sometimes that's a bill collector. Right. And you don't answer those phone calls.
Let's just let that go to voicemail.
So meanwhole, I've booked a bunch of cruise ship gigs and stuff to try to,
pay the bills.
Yeah. Those gigs
I know them well.
Oof, those are rough. So I'm fine. Yeah. But then I'm like, God, I wish I had better gigs than these cruise ship gigs.
Right. You're like, I work in a nice theater once a week, and then I sit on a boat and have to have the same conversation every meal with people.
So I get that phone call and I ignore it. Then I get a text from that number that says, hey, man, it's Russell Peters. Answer your effing phone. Wow. What? So I called back. I was like, hey, dude, what's up? He's like, what's up, Collings? How you doing? It's just literally the nicest guy. Yeah. And I was like, he goes like, yeah, I got to tell you, man, that you've gotten really strong. That set was amazing. I was like, dude, thank you so much. I can't even tell you what that means coming from you. I mean, you're one of the guys that I want, blah, blah, Yeah. Then he says, what are you doing in November?
Wait, and this is October.
Yeah. I go, you mean next month? Yeah. He goes, what are you doing in November? It was right in the beginning of October. Maybe the end of September, but right there. Yeah. I says, he asked me what I'm doing. I listed off all the things I was doing. I go, well, I'm doing some road gigs with Brent Moore, and I got these cruise ship things that I'm doing. So I got some stuff going on. I thought he was just making conversation. Like, is everything okay? Yeah. He goes, you want to lose all that? I go, what do you mean? He goes, do you want to do an arena tour across Canada with me in November?
You're like 3 weeks out.
I said, Russell, I got to call my agent and cancel everything.
That's amazing.
I said, really? He goes, yeah, we're leaving Halloween on a private jet to Vancouver. And then we'll be doing shows all across Canada for the next 3 weeks. I says, I'm in. I'm doing it. And then we did the gig, and it was the most incredible experience. I've never done arenas.
Yeah.
I've never flown on a private jet. The whole tour was private. I mean, I was spoiled. It was amazing.
What was that like the first time you walked out? Like that first show you walked out on stage, and there's that many people.
Unbelievable. It was just, I have a picture of it. One of those pictures, that Vancouver gig, that was it. And it was pretty intimidating, but I got into it, the groove, really fast. And I had a great set. I got off stage. Everybody in the crew was like, this is going to be a great tour. They were really happy. And it was pretty incredible. It was just, those venues were insane. Halfway through the tour, we're getting on an elevator. Me, him, and his brother, and the security guys. And his brother is his manager. Okay. And runs the tour. Yeah. He's the
makes it happen.
He's the man behind the curtain. Yeah. He's incredible. Clayton Peters. He's great. Great guy too. Sweetheart. We're all getting on the elevator. When me, Russell, and his brother get on, Russell's brother stops the other people from getting on. And just kind of does like nods. We go on a private conversation. This is the three of us. And I was like, oh, what did I do wrong?
You're like, well, it's been fun.
Well, I guess I'm off the tour is what I'm thinking. And the door closes and Clayton says, so Russell, do you want to tell him? And Russell goes, why don't you tell him? And I'm going, what did I do wrong?
You're running through your last set in your head.
Clayton goes, nah, you tell him. And Russell goes, how would you like to do the next leg of the tour with us? I go, what? He goes, Middle East and India.
What?
I go, yeah, I'm in. He goes, all right, buckle up. Tell your family you're going to be gone for 6 weeks.
Wow.
So at the end of February, we're flying to the Middle East and we're going to do a tour of the Middle East and India for 6 weeks or something.
Bro.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So I know I did something right.
Amazing.
And now he wants to work with me on other things. And, you know, it's great. And he's just probably one of the most generous people I've ever met in my life.
That's beautiful, man.
He's a good dude. Spent New Year's Eve at his house, my wife and I, and my brother and his girl. We all went to Russell's for New Year's Eve and had a great time. And it's a really, really fucking cool, man. I'm blessed, and I always say I feel lucky, but at the same time, people are like, nah, man, you earned that. Yeah. And I have to remind myself, I worked my butt off. And
it's the balance of being good at what you do. Yeah. And also being a good person.
Yeah. And
you know what I mean? Like
Russell's, that's another thing. He's a good dude and he's super honest. And he's like, he tells me, you're killing it, man. I want to help you out. And I go, great. And there's certain things I need help with. Right. Right. That he could help me with. And the cool thing is I didn't have to ask for it. Yeah. Yeah. So,
but you're receptive to it as well.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times guys want to just be self-made.
But what they have to remember is they are. What got me in the position that I am in with these people is what I do. So it is self-made. If really, but it's man, those two that we did the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto is where the Raptors play. Yeah. He sold it out.
What? How many people does that seat?
For the 7th time. I was blown away.
That's his 7th show there?
There were 15,000 people in that arena watching us do stand-up comedy. One guy alone on a stage with a spotlight. There's plaques in the front of the arena, and these plaques are all the people that have sold it out. And you're looking at U2. Yeah. Major acts, and then Russell Peters.
That's amazing.
And it's his hometown. Toronto's his hometown, and man, it was so much fun. And then we were in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Prince George and gosh, what are those?
Had you been through Canada before?
I'd only been to Vancouver. Yeah. And Montreal.
Okay. Oh yeah, for last. Yeah.
So I got to see all the rest of it too, I mean, I'd never been to Toronto. I'd never been to Ottawa. I'd never been to Calgary. I've never been to Edmonton. It was great.
And now you're going to the Middle East?
I've never been there. And
That's going to be unreal.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to India. We're going to Dubai.
I've heard like stadiums there are even bigger.
Oh,
like they
where they have the cricket stadiums.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to be playing. Unbelievable. Yeah. So it's been quite a life-changing experience, and I can't thank the guy enough. And I'm just going to ride it out, and just see where we can go from there. And
I'm so encouraged, man, with your journey and the fact that you just like your commitment to this is what I'm going to do. Like from the very beginning, going up to the Ha Ha Cafe and just being like, this is what I do.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize how important that is to commit to something.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many people have said this, man, you're so lucky.
Yeah.
I go, no, what are you talking about? Luck. This didn't happen to me.
Right.
I made this shit happen.
Right.
And I made it happen every single day.
Yeah.
When I was crying because I was broke.
Yeah.
When I thought I was going to lose my house and my wife was going to leave me. When I was, I still would cry and go, this is rough, but oh man, I got to get in the car because I got a gig at 8 o'clock. I still went.
Yeah.
There was a time when I stopped doing it for 3 months.
Whoa.
And I was miserable. I was miserable. Regular job, trying to do that. And I just wasn't happy. I was like, this is paying the bills, but I'm going to be impossible to live with because I'm miserable.
It's a part of you, man.
And here's how I knew this was what I was supposed to be doing. When I said, screw it. And I said, I'm done taking this break. I called a guy and I said, you got a spot on your show tonight? I'm back. He's like, all right, come in. First time back in 3 months, I got a standing ovation.
Amazing.
Standing ovation. And I went, this is what I'm supposed to do. And my dad told me that.
Yeah.
He was able to see me do stand-up, not live.
Yeah.
Because he was too sick. But I recorded a set, brought it home to him, showed it to him on the television. He didn't laugh. He watched it like he was studying it. And then when it ended, he was quiet. And he looks at me, he says, that joke about that it was a dirty joke. A lot of comics start off dirty.
Yeah.
Because he says, don't do that joke. Your mom won't like that joke. And then he paused again and he says, but this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Wow.
Don't stop doing this. He goes, that doesn't look like a new guy. You look seasoned.
Yeah.
He goes, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And I'm like, and I never stopped. If you watch my Tonight Show set, at the end, I kind of point up real quick.
Yeah.
That was to Dad because he I don't know if I mentioned, but almost 30 days to the day, 1 month to the day after I started stand up, he passed away.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's one of the bummers. It's like he didn't get to see all the success.
Yeah.
But he
got to see you do the thing that he
got to see me perform, and he got to say, that's what you're supposed to be doing. And so
there's a moment where I think any entertainer comes to where they have to acknowledge that this is my lane.
Yeah.
When my wife and I, when we decided I was going to give a go at doing it full time.
Yeah.
And at the time, the conversation was like this. It was, if I don't, if someday I'm 90 years old, if I live that long and I never tried it, I will be disappointed. So I'm going to at least give it a go. And if it doesn't work, that's fine.
Yeah.
And now it's at a point where it's like, no, this is it. There's no plan B.
Yep.
This is the thing.
My dad gave it a go.
Yeah.
He had a little big success. It was rough. It was the 60s and 70s, and
yeah.
He had babies at home and he signed a bad contract and, he had his hit song. He tells a story. He used to tell a story. He goes, my hit song was playing on the radio and I was on my hands and knees killing cockroaches in my kitchen.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, whoa. But he gave it a go and he toured all over. I mean, he was on the bill with some big names.
Right.
And he was on American Bandstand.
Yeah.
I have his interview with Dick Clark on a CD.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
So, he gave it a go and it didn't work, but he died knowing that he never had to go. Man,
That's right.
If I only had, he did it.
Yeah. There's no shame in trying it and going, this isn't going to work out or,
Yeah.
I mean, even like, Rodney, didn't he go like sell aluminum siding in like his 30s or 40s?
Yeah. He started late. Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
They didn't break till they were older, middle-aged guys,
Yeah.
And, but my dad never, like what we're saying, this is who we are.
Right.
And it never goes away. He can never stop. He stopped playing music, but then before he passed, he got back into it. He just got back into it, was playing in the church.
Yeah.
And it was always there. It's just who we are. And he never really stuck to one thing.
Okay.
Because those other things that he did that paid the bills, bought us a nice house in a nice neighborhood, it wasn't really who he was.
Yeah.
So he was moving along, you know. But where's this?
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly feel like I have no choice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because even in those really shitty moments where you're like, you know, the bills are piling up and you're still like, yeah, this is still pretty great.
Right. And it's also, think about it, it's therapy.
Yeah, it is.
What do you do at a therapist? You go talk to a stranger about your shit. I do that every night.
Right.
I have just a room full of people that I'm talking about my son moving out and him getting mad at me but making it fun and talking about it. And I've been going, you know, this is my therapy, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know, and it's awesome. Yeah. This is who we are. It's the best.
It's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. I'm so excited to see all that you're doing, man, and all the opportunities that are coming. And
yeah, I feel like this is going to be a big year. 2019. I got some stuff. You know, my brother and I are writing partners.
Yeah.
We are in the middle of finishing up a pitch for a TV show.
Oh, sweet.
That some people are interested in hearing about. So, you know, we got some irons in the fire, but it's all based in comedy.
That's so good, man. Yeah. How can people follow along, see what you're doing?
I'm very active on Instagram.
Yeah.
If you just go to Instagram, it's just my name, at JasonCollings. A lot of people forget the G.
Right.
It's Collings. Jason Collings on Instagram, Jason Collings on Twitter, Comedian Jason Collings on Facebook, Mr. Jason Collings on YouTube. And then, of course, you could always go to jasoncollings.com.
Yeah.
So,
dude, you have so much on YouTube.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I try to.
It's amazing.
That's where we're so lucky to have the Comedy and Magic Club.
Because the footage is killer.
You get great tape. You could throw some stuff on, you know, just show people what you're doing. And I always like to throw little tastes.
Yeah.
A little 1 minute thing or a little 30-second thing. I'm not going to give them a whole.
Right.
But, you know, it's so cool to have that and be able to just throw it up on and I don't really, you don't really have to do anything. I don't have to bring a camera. I don't have to set up a tripod. They do it all for you. It's perfect. That's why so many people want to be a part of that club.
That club.
People ask me, how do I do it? I go like this. Hey, I don't know.
Yeah. I had a friend today message me because I posted I was going to be there tonight. And he's like, how do I get in the Comedy Magic Club? And I'm like, well, here's how I got in. I asked to do it for 7 years and never got anything. And then I had friends for like 2 years recommend me and never got anything. And then one day out of the blue, I got a call and booked 3 days.
Boom. Yeah. And that's how it is. And the thing is, it's great is that they are watching. They are paying attention. I really have so much respect for that club.
It's one of the few places that it's kind of like the Magic Castle. Like there's just certain places that got this vibe, you know.
They figured it out.
Yeah.
And what's amazing about that club is their treatment of us.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So many places all over the world. So many places all over the world, over the country. We're the lowest on the totem pole, and it's weird. They treat the wait staff better than us. They treat it like, and I don't understand that because the place wouldn't exist without us.
Yeah.
Comedy and Magic, man, they treat us like royalty when they're there. They're so nice to us. The owner's great. Richard is amazing. The booker, and it's just such an amazing place.
It's an honor to be a part of, man.
Isn't it?
I remember going with friends who are comics. They'd be like, come hang with me when they do a set. And I'd be like in the green room and they'd give me food. And I'd be like, what is happening?
What is going on here?
Like, is it okay that I'm here? Like, just
first time I ever went there was just as with Joe Coy as the guy that he brought. And I was just like, one day I want to be a part of this place.
So cool, man.
They finally this year, or just like the last month or so, put my picture up on the wall. And I thought that was the coolest thing in the world.
That's amazing.
The year I did the Tonight Show, I signed a brick.
Yeah.
I have a brick sign in that hallway. But man, that's another thing that I think that I want to say, if any young new comics are listening, or appreciate all of it.
Yeah.
Don't think you're bigger than it.
Yeah.
Like you've seen what I'm doing. I still to this day will be sitting at the Comedy Store, looking around going, I can't believe I get to be a part of this. And the same thing with the Comedy Magic Club. I look around and go, I am so lucky to be a part of this place.
Yeah. And
I'm not going to take it for granted, you know. People get too rock star too early.
No way, man.
Yeah.
No way. I'd still, and again with the Magic Castle, I still do that. I'm like 5 years old every time I go in there.
I gotta go there, man.
Let's go. We'll do it. Let's plan a night.
Let's do it. I'm down.
We'll do it. Well, man, thank you for doing this. This was so good.
This was very cool.
This was so encouraging.
I'm glad
everybody
you came over.
Dude, yeah, man, we can keep talking. I'm gonna kill this so we can talk some more because I got more questions for you that we'll save it for us.
All right, cool.
But friends, go check out Jason, and if you're listening right now, click on the show links. I'll put links to all your social media stuff and all that so people can go follow you.
Great.
See those incredible pictures you're gonna get. India and the Middle East.
Oh man,
I
can't wait.
It's crazy, dude. Thanks so much, man.
Thanks for having me.
Was that a great conversation with Jason or what? Holy moly, man. This dude just exudes passion. He's one of those people that when you're hanging out with him and you're talking, you can't help but get pumped about the things that not only he's doing, but it's contagious. You start to get more excited about the things that you're doing and that you're working on. And my breaking point this week, coming off the conversation with Jason, is this. It is never too late to start. It is never too late to start. Jason shared that he's been only in this comedy game, 12, 13 years. And he and I both got started later in life. I didn't start performing full-time until I was 33 years old. And Jason, right about that time, started doing comedy when he was about that age. And I just want to encourage you, it's never too late to pursue your passion. I know that oftentimes I can get this nagging feeling that I started too late in the game or that I wish I was further ahead than I was. The truth is the minute you start doing what you're passionate about, you're winning. Like the minute you start doing something that you love and you care about and is bringing joy to other people, that's when you win. It's not when you get some big break. Those things don't happen like that. It's really the journey is the reward. So my challenge to you today is it's never too late to start doing something. Every one of you who's listening has something that maybe you've said for years. Maybe it's been your New Year's resolution for the last 20 years. Maybe there's something that you know you need to do, but for whatever reason you haven't kicked it off. You haven't hit start. Well, now is the time. No more pause button. Let's go out there. Let's do it. And let's go from having breakdowns to breakthrough. I'll see you guys next week.